Because, yeah, I don't think wax paper would be a good idea to use your paint. Let's put this sheet of paper underneath so that we don't, like, potentially bleed the paint onto the other pages. Okay, so what are we going to use here? We're going to use, this Bad Moon Yellow. I'm expecting to not have really good coverage. Oh, and I gotta get my brushes, of course, so pardon me, folks, while I get all this crap ready. I thought I had everything ready. Here we are. What brushes? What's our tools today? Let's see. Let's get these out. I wonder if this brush might be useful, because it's flat. Let's maybe try this brush. Even though it looks a little kind of rough. We can try that. Okay, so we got the brushes. Gonna move all those guys, all this stuff off. And this is one of those things where I'm like so close to finishing these models. But it's like, if I don't finish them now, then I'm probably never gonna get around to it. Like it's just that they're so close that my mentality is, it's good enough. It's good enough. And I just don't take that extra step to take it to, you know, the next level, so to speak. Just because in my mind I'm like, fine, it's fine. That happens a lot because I'm not really painting for any kind of competition or anything. I'm just painting for myself, just for fun. Not trying to really impress anyone. Not that like, not that painting models is an impressive feat. All right, so here we are with some Bad Moon Yellow. This is the very old paint, Bad Moon Yellow. And let's just do a test here on the side and see if it's going to kind of warp the paper to any noticeable extent. I think it looks pretty nice, actually, the coverage. So I think we're good to go. And yeah, you guys might not be able to really see the lines that I had marked out, and actually I don't think it's a good idea to have the lines are really going to show through the paint, because the paint is so thin. So let's kind of just faintly erase the lines enough that I can see it, but they won't be too visible after. Okay. It's very light. I tried to draw it very lightly, but nevertheless it still will be noticeable to the naked eye. Although on camera here, I'm sure you guys can't really see the difference. Alright, here we go. Let's make sure that's nice and cleaned off. No eraser dust. I don't really mind at this moment if it's a little streaky. And yeah, I can see the pencil marks already. I maybe should have erased it a little better. I'm also painting way over the lines. That's fine, because we're going to be cutting these out. So you can see this general shape here. Like, what you're seeing is something that's intended to be folded over at the halfway point. So if you imagine half this size, that's the size of the banner that I'm going for. So really, it's quite small. It's quite small. But I don't know. I just felt like it might look kind of good, kind of different from your typical setup, your typical Eldar banner. I should take a look at the current Eldar range. I have no idea what they do for the Windriders. Do they have a banner? I actually don't remember. I don't recall. So the plan is to paint this and apply a decal to this. And I'm also thinking about adding a blue, some kind of blue accent. But I'm not entirely sure what what that's gonna be. Maybe we can do a little test run. I think that's gonna be good enough for the first coat. And the coverage seems pretty solid. So that's aight. That's aight. Okay. Let's do a bit of cleanup here. It's a little overcast day today. It's kind of not too bright outside. Just kind of sucks. Let me get some paper towel. And every time I paint, my room just gets so messy, and it's really annoying to me how messy it gets. And then I clean it up, and then I have to paint again. If I want to paint again, it gets messy again. Alright, so that looks pretty good right now. Let's take a quick look at our decals. What do we have? Oh, this is, by the way, is the this is the sticker sheet for the banners right here. And that's I don't know, it looks a little too much for the rest of the model. I don't think it matches really the rest of the model that I've done. These are a little more closer to what I'd imagine I'd want to use. But this sort of matches the color scheme, so maybe we're gonna do something along these lines, just in a different shape or form. And we have like I said, I have these decals that we can use. Although that being said, the decals need to be, I would need 6, right? Because like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even though these are just 3 models. I didn't really think about that. So in that case, I think I'll just hand paint them. I'll hand paint the designs. Something really simple. It's a little more work for me. But that's okay. I think that's what the plan is. So I think what I'll do is probably a sword. Let's maybe we can take a moment to kind of draw it out. It's sort of modeled after this right here. I have to draw that 6 times though. What I need is my mechanical pencil, because that's gonna allow me to draw this a little more sharply. I'm using just like a whatever pencil right now, and it's kind of janky, kind of awkward, because I don't really use pencil sharpeners. Hold on a second, I think my mechanical pencil's in the other room, so hold on. Okay, guys, got my pencil, my mechanical pencil here. This will allow me to draw details more sharply. So, damn, the thought of having to paint this symbol, draw it 6 times, it's kind of putting me off. So, I wonder if I could get away with just some sort of geometric design. Maybe something like that, just like a swoosh. It's a little too simple, though, in my opinion. Maybe the moon. Hold on, how's the moon oriented? Yeah, maybe just the moon shape. That would be easy enough to draw. And I could always add the sword later if I'm feeling ballsy. Yeah, I think we might just go with the moon shape because it's a little easier. All right. So one thing I need to kind of measure out is the center. I'm kind of just eyeballing it here. The center of each of these. Eyeballing it because we need to place the moon in the center. Something like that. And the moon is yeah, it's this shaped. It's not the other way around. And I'm wondering if the moon should be blue. That's somewhat unusual. You never really see it that color. Actually, yeah, I think on some of the decals they are colored blue, so that's kind of okay. Do you think? I wonder if I have some kind of circular template that I can just trace. Because that'll allow me to be a whole lot more consistent between every single one. Let me see here. Do I have a circular template? This will allow me to draw half a circle at least. A popsicle stick. I only need half a circle anyways. Let's see, I think I have some popsicle sticks, some unused ones. Actually, I have a bunch. Bought some sticks at the dollar store. Got so many now. Just one moment here, guys. Get my collection of popsicle sticks. So yeah, this is my first time streaming this week. I've been out of town actually, starting on Monday, and then I got back Tuesday, and then Wednesday I pretty much just, oh crap. The popsicle sticks all just bursted out. Oh crap. There you go. Yeah, so kind of took it easy the next day. I think this might be too big. Really? Just not much clearance on either side. Okay, let's draw a rough one on the side here. Yeah, I think this is too big. Kind of want something smaller. Let's look around. Let's look around my room for more circular shapes that we could use. Let's see. Circle, circle, circle. Too big. This cap? This cap might be small enough. Oh, how about this? Yeah, I think this might be a good size. I'm pretty sure I have like a a set of like semicircle templates and stuff that I could dredge up from my art school days, but this'll do, this'll do. And then we'll just draw the rest. We'll draw the rest inside. Something like that. I have to make sure that it's kind of, I'm drawing it lightly though. This is all because I don't want to use, I don't even have six templates, or rather, there we go. 6 water slide decals. Ooh, and I just remembered that this is going to be folded over. So I'll be drawing it upside down, or rather the moon will be upside down because it'll be flipped. That was the plan, to use water slide decals, until I realized I needed 6. I'm like, I don't have 6 water slide decals, so that would be the best. Actually, on YouTube, I'm in contact with a really great guy who also is working on Eldar, or actually he's working on Eldar models that are so old that they were called like space elves back then. Originally they were just called space elves, just like how the orcs were called space orcs back then. But yeah, Dan, he's a cool dude, and he offered to send me some water slide decals, since I don't think he's using them. But that would take some time to reach me at this point in time, and I'm looking to get these guys done now. So we'll get these guys done now, and we'll see what we can do about getting something from Dan, or maybe we can work out a trade at another point in time. But okay, so now I need to look at an example of the crescent moon and kind of copy it. It has like a lot of body, a lot of heft at the bottom, and tapers at the edges, and it doesn't really sharply go up all that much. Something like that. I mean, at the end of the day, I can only make this so precise. I'll try and erase these marks a little later so that they're not so present when it comes to painting. That one looks a little crappy. Alright, now let's flip this baby over and draw the other side of the moons. And yeah, I can tell that it's not really all that visible as to what I'm actually doing here. Sorry guys. Once I start painting, it'll kind of be a little more clear. So yeah, I was out of town and met up with some friends. So that wasn't the primary reason we were out of town, but yeah, it was nice to meet up with some friends again, of course. You know, in some places of the world at least, things are kind of getting back to a state of... Oh, hey, Bacon, how's it going, Bacon? What's up? Things are kind of getting back to a state of normalcy, at least the government has decided that should be the case. For my part, I feel like I'm still going to be wearing a mask and all that stuff for a good long while. Kind of gotten used to it, to be honest. And it's just a good practice in the sense that, like, in these past 2 years, or yeah, has it been 2 years, something like that? In these past 2 years, I actually haven't gotten sick. Like, maybe I had like a brief moment where I got a little sniffle or something, but yeah, I haven't gotten you know, anything, let alone COVID, so that's pretty good for that alone. Yeah, it's just a good practice. Like, I feel like culturally we've gotten to a point in some parts of Canada at least, where it's just culturally acceptable to be wearing a mask now. Kind of like how Japan, it's just a thing like pre-pandemic just to wear a mask, you know? It's not a big deal. Bacon, kind of crazy how it's been 2 years. Yeah. I'm telling you, it felt like a big blur to me for a lot of it. Big blur. So how much did you finish on your model there, Azra Archer there, Bacon? Kind of decided to go to bed somewhat early. You know, prior to my trip earlier this week, I've been feeling like my sleep schedule was so whack. Like my sleep schedule, oh my god, like just going to bed at super dumb times and waking up and just feeling super tired and just having to go to bed immediately again. So I'm trying a little bit to get a bit of a normal sleep schedule. Okay, so let's see. So now we're gonna paint the moon now blue. Bacon, some places in Asia have been wearing masks for the past decade. Yeah. I mean, it's not like a mask alone is gonna like prevent you from getting COVID or anything like that, but it's certainly like it's not like 100% protection barrier, you know? But it certainly helps, and every little thing that you can do to help is probably a good step that you can take. It's probably a good idea. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. What do I know? I'm just a guy that paints little plastic toys on the internet, so what do I know? Bacon, top half of the body's done, and now you've started the legs. Nice. And so, I'm not really sure how the instructions work on for Megami device models, but like, is it that that you sort of build all the variation parts as well? Because I know that you had two different body types, right? Like kind of like a covered up one, and then one that's more exposed booba. So did they have you build that all at the same time? Let's get some more brushes. Where's my long brush? Oh, it's right here already. This brush I think will be good. I definitely will require your assistance when I start building my Sosai Shoujo Taiin model, because yeah, I've been looking at the Reddit for building sorry, I'm saying a lot because I'm also concentrating. Let me just concentrate on this. One thing at a time. My brain is not capable of doing multiple tasks. Streaming and talking and painting, especially like fine detail stuff, like this is already a huge mental overload for me because I'm a very simple person. You can see that I'm drawing the moon, but it's rather sloppy at this point. Like, I'm doing like some swipes that kind of flow with like the motion that I'm doing, but I'm not trying to draw the other side, paint the other side of the moon just now, because I know that like the arc of my brushstroke is going to be more awkward from this position. So that's why you just turn around the page and you kind of you do the same arc, just the same arc motion, but you're manipulating the paper, your canvas or whatever, so that you're not forcing your wrist motion, your hand motion to do awkward get into an awkward position. And just kind of carefully fill it in the pencil marks. And even then, as you can see, it's not perfect yet, but we'll just leave that. And we'll just slowly do the rest. Sometimes it helps to paint within the lines. I guess it would help a lot to paint within the lines. Okay. We're just turning the page and let's move the models aside. I was trying to think of a really simple design that would work, and the moon was the best. This crescent moon was the best thing I could come up with, because I was briefly considering painting a sword. Maybe the crescent moon and a sword. But then I realized I'd have to paint the swords. I'd have to draw a sword, like a near identical sword, 6 times, and I didn't feel like doing that. I think that's good enough for the bulk of the shape here. We can kind of try and fix it up. If I go over, we can fix things up a little bit using some white paint and then going back to the yellow. It's not too big of a deal. And I might even consider doing some weathering on these banners to kind of make them look a little more, well, weathered. But I'm not 100% sure if I'll do that. Okay, so that's the general shape of the crescent moons, and we're gonna go in and more tightly define it with a smaller brush. Let's catch up on the chat. Top half the body's done. Start with the legs. Oh yeah. Bacon, you build the inner bodysuit first, then move on to the armored version. Oh, okay. And that's a physical... The whole armored version is like an entirely different part. It's not something that attaches to the inner body, if I understand correctly. Bacon, this is for the Eldar? Yeah, this is for the Eldar. That's for these guys, which I've shown previously. I'm very, very close to finishing them. Really the only thing left is the banner. And that's... See this pole here? Where is my sticker sheet? Oh, here it is. The sticker sheet here. This you fold this over and it wraps around like this. But even though this matches the color scheme and this would work, the actual design is a little too crazy. It's like this fiery thing, kind of like a Harley Davidson thing. And that doesn't really match with what I had in mind. So I'm actually making like a smaller, more rectangular banner, kind of like I really don't know what they call it, like some Japanese samurai. When you look at some pictures, they have like these little pennants hanging off their back, and I'm kind of going for something like that because it's small enough, and I don't really want anything that calls attention to itself all that much. Just because these are fairly basic true types. They're not really supposed to be all that special. So I don't think we need to draw too much attention to them. They're already pretty crazy looking already, pretty fancy looking just because they're flying jet bikes. So I think that's enough. And what I might do actually to kind of tighten up the lines here is go around it with black. I have some black markers that I could use. Let's do that. Yeah, so we're very close to finishing those Eldar models. I really would like to finish them today or just like off stream after this session. And yeah, that'll be good. That'll be one more unit done. all the new Eldar models are coming out now. Like, you can actually get them at retail. That's pretty exciting. A part of me really wants Malganra. Really great model. But I'm not actually sure what I'm going to get. What new things I'll get. I'm going to get something, but I don't really know what. And also, again, it's this whole idea of like backlog and feeling guilty about finishing stuff that I've had for so long. That's the main reason why I'm working on this stuff. So I've had it for so long and got so excited about the new Eldar models. And yeah. Bacon, the armored parts are its own thing. Okay, so you'll end up having extra limbs. Okay, so do you have some kind of container to put all your extra parts? Since you have Lady Ludens, I'm sure you have a lot of extra parts from that as well. So how are you sort of organizing all those extra parts? I have I can show you real quick. I showed this online I took some pictures previously on for Instagram, but I got these from the dollar store. See that? It's pretty large. It's a Duramax case. How long is it? I can get a measuring. Hey, Mary Chunks, how's it going? How is it going? This thing here is it's just about 14.5 inches long and 8.5 inches. Oh yeah, that's a good thing to do. I probably should get on that as well. Alright, so it's like every year there's like a math test that I have to do. The government gives me a math test, and suddenly I have all these like memories of failing math in high school. Every year it's just a reoccurring nightmare for me. Yeah, so I have this container, and these compartments kind of slide, and you can move it with these little things. I'm sure you've seen stuff like this before. You can make them longer or wider. And yeah, this one I'm putting all the extra stuff I've got, like this gun pack and effects parts. I have a larger case, a larger thing for effects parts. This thing here for the stand, blah blah blah. All these like little adjustable things that you can use to modify for your stand. You know all that stuff. The weapon things, and then the rocks, debris. And I got a second one. Where is it? Oh, yeah, I have a second one. Well, it's not very impressive. There's nothing in there. And I'll be using that to put extra parts from like my girl pla. Bacon, I do have a container for all the extra parts. Okay, cool. There's a lot of extra parts. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm interested in getting when I at some point get another model, is I kind of want something with a lot of extras. I know I showed you that other model that I was thinking about getting. It looks really cool, but it doesn't have much extras, and I kind of want some extra stuff. Okay, so just painting this in. Super easy, Mary Trunks. That's cool. So I didn't catch it, but from the conversation in Bacon stream last night, but I think you were saying that you weren't too interested in watching Batman, Mary Trunks, the new one. Yeah, I was watching last night and a bit today, Dark Knight, because yeah, we were talking about it in Bacon stream, and I was like, wait a second, I have Dark Knight on iTunes, and I haven't used iTunes in years. Like, I know Bacon said that too, but yeah, I haven't used it in such a long time. I wasn't even sure if it'd work, and I was like, well, let me check on my iPad. I have to like install like an entirely different program app. It was not iMovie. It was Apple TV, and it was it's just their streaming service. And then yeah, a bunch of movies that I had purchased and redeemed the digital code for, all showed up, and now I can just stream them, which is actually pretty great. And I feel so dumb for not even remembering that I could even take advantage of that. I was like, oh shit. So now I feel like I want to get some more movies and just get the streaming part for it. That would be cool. Not too interested, eh, Mary Trunks? Yeah, I know, I don't know. You know what, like, I'll tell you this much. If you're the type of person that likes action, I'm not really sure if this movie's gonna be for you. And I like action. A lot of people like action. Little kids who like Batman would likely come to expect to see action, and yet this movie, like, it's not too heavy on the action. And I wonder if it's even, so you might say to yourself, okay, well, what does it have in return? Is it like a more cerebral movie? Is it more adult in that sense? Is it more mature? And it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not really sure about that. I think, man, I seem to recall, Mary Trunks, you said that you had watched fairly recently, 7? Am I right in saying that? Or like 12 Monkeys or something like that? There was this era in like the late 90s, early 2000s when there was a lot of cool cop drama movies like that had serial killers and mysteries regarding like the serial killer. And yeah, there was 7 was the big one, but there was some other movies like that. I really enjoyed that era of movies. I don't really think it exists anymore, but there are times when Batman is like that, the new movie that is, and I really dug it, because in my opinion we haven't really seen a detective Batman on film as of yet, and this movie gets the closest to that, although at times he's a bit of a, I don't know, he kind of makes some dumb mistakes or something, and it's kind of like, I don't know. 7, yeah. Oh, you don't remember 7? Okay, so I'm just making things up. I know you said you watched like Shawshank Redemption. Mary Trunk's not going to watch Batman for the drama. You love action, yeah. So in that sense, I think the new Batman movie might be a little disappointing, or a lot disappointing. Okay, just fixing up my shitty mistakes. Shawshank was epic, yeah. I remember you were saying that you're watching like a bunch of classic movies before the baby comes. So I guess you don't really have too much time to watch movies anymore, huh? But yeah, Shawshank is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Really good movie. I know we mentioned you were asking for other movies like it, and then we mentioned The Green Mile. Have you seen that? That movie's pretty good too. I don't think it's as good as Shawshank, but it's still pretty good. It's from the same director, and they're both based off of Stephen King short stories, I'm pretty sure. The Green Mile, good. That's a good one too. Okay. Forrest Gump was good too, man. That's surprising that you hadn't seen Forrest Gump like until fairly recently. That was such a big movie at the time. I think I was too young to even fully appreciate it at the time. I thought it was just kind of funny at points, and obviously there's all this serious stuff that happens in it. But yeah, I watched it as a pretty young kid, and I thought that all the computer graphics and stuff was really cool. How Forrest Gump met like John F. Kennedy, and they kind of took old real footage of Kennedy and put Forrest Gump in it. Stuff like that. As a kid, I thought that was really neat. The actual plot and all that, I didn't fully appreciate until I was a little older. I remember thinking it was funny when I first watched it. Yeah, which seems a little rude now. I don't know. Seems like a little I don't know what's the word, like callous to laugh at. I don't know, if you're laughing at Forrest Gump, that's not nice. If you're laughing with Forrest Gump, then that's fine. And I'll admit that at times as a kid, I may have been laughing at Forrest Gump. There's this amazing part at the end. There's this part at the end when, spoilers for a movie that's like, what, 30 years old? More than 20 years old now. There's this part where, at the end, he meets Jenny again, right? And she has a child. She has a child with Forrest that she kind of kept secret or something. And the kid is played by Haley Joel Osment. He's watching cartoons or something. And he's just really happy to see this kid, right? I don't know what's his name, Forrest Jr. or something. And he's watching Looney Tunes. Forrest Gump takes Jenny to the side and he's like, you know, hey, is he, you know, is he okay? Like kind of indicating like with his head, like, you know, does he have all his marbles? And she's like, no, he's fine. He's like the smartest kid in his class. And he's like so freaking relieved. I thought that was really funny, but at the same time, like, consider all the things that happened to Forrest, right? It's not really, it was never really an issue. His, whatever you want to call it, his mental capacity, his intelligence. In fact, like, he just kind of stumbles into amazing situations regardless. And yeah, so I don't know what that means for the kid, like for his life, because he's more, I don't know what you want to call it, like because he's smarter or something. Is he gonna have a boring life? Who knows? Bacon, I remember thinking it was funny when I first watched it. Oh yeah. Mary Trunks, Forrest was good to Penny. Oh, Jenny, yeah. Forrest was too good for Jenny. He deserved better. Even though he was dim-witted, he was still honest and helpful throughout his life. Yeah, super helpful guy. Super nice guy. But Jenny was like just like his childhood love. I don't think he fell in love with anyone else. Like, I don't think there was anyone else that he had in his life. It was always just Jenny. Okay, so here we are. I'm gonna whip out this this pen, this marker pen, Faber-Castell black pen, and let's see how thin it is. It seems kind of, I don't know. Is that too thick? I feel like that's too thick. Do I have something thinner? Hold up. Let me look for something thinner. Childhood love, the one and only. Yep. Okay, guys, let's see. It's my stash of pens and pencils, artsy fartsy stuff, you guys. One day, so I'm making it. I'm gonna set it at like whenever I achieve some kind of YouTube milestone, whether that be like, you know, 1,000 views or 100 subscribers or whatever, 200 subscribers. I'll set a milestone, and when we achieve that milestone, what I'll do is I'll do a tour of my my workspace. You guys can see. I'll let you guys in on my surrounding area here, the where all the magic happens, quote unquote magic. Yeah, and I can kind of go over all my pens and art tools and brushes. Like, yeah, I've got a lot of crap. Okay, this is actually a better line. So let's go with this. Do you know there's a Forrest Gump 2 book? And so even the first book, Forrest Gump, it's different. It's different from the movie. And I think that the author kind of understood that the movie was so hugely successful that he's like, okay, I'm going to make a sequel. But he kind of made the sequel more in line with the movie now, rather than his original vision for the book, just because he knew that people who were interested in buying the book were going to expect the movie rather than his original novel. And just as an example of how it was different, I'm pretty sure that the son, Forrest's son, was like mean to Forrest in the book. Like or is that actually might be the sequel? That the son kind of is resentful towards his dad. It's kind of mean towards him. Something like that. There are differences. Okay. So we've drawn the crescent moon. It looks a little uneven from from each one, but we can try and fix that up a little bit. Bacon didn't know that. Mary Trunks, what are some other movies like Forrest Gump and Shawshank? I want to watch more movies like those. So yeah, I mentioned. I remember when you were originally asking about that. I mentioned The Green Mile. That's a really good one, and it's from the same writer, Stephen King, and the same director, Frank Darabont. So I mean, oh, it has Tom Hanks again. It's good. It's not as good as Sorry, not Forrest Gump. It's not as good as Shawshank, in my opinion. Yeah, from the same writers and director as Shawshank. It's not as good as in my opinion, but still worth a watch. I don't know if you remember the actor Michael Clark Duncan, the really big black guy. He played Kingpin in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. He's in that movie. Probably one of his best roles. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Oh yeah, also from the same... Mikazuki. How's it going, Mikazuki? He was in Talladega Nights. Yeah, he's really funny in Talladega Nights, actually. That might be his best role, in fact. How's it going, Mikazuki? How you doing? What other movies? Benjamin Button is from the same writer? Is it? Wait. Oh yeah, Benjamin Button's from the same writer as Forrest Gump, like the same novelist. But it's directed by David Fincher, who did Fight Club and The Social Network and a bunch of other movies. So that's a pretty good movie. I don't think it's not my favorite David Fincher movie, but it's still pretty decent. And that movie is also like Forrest Gump in the sense that you watch... There's bits and pieces of actual real-life history that kind of happen around this guy. But the difference is that in Forrest Gump, he's like a guy who's not too bright. And all this stuff happens to him. That's kind of like the little kind of unique gimmick, if you want to call it that. But in Benjamin Button, it stars Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. He's a guy that's born, and he's aging like in reverse. So he's born as a tiny, wrinkly old man, and as time goes on, he actually gets younger and younger, and he falls in love with this lady, and their lives kind of intersect perfectly at this one moment in time where their ages kind of line up nicely, but then their ages start going in the other way. Like she gets older and he gets younger, and well, don't want to spoil the rest. Mikazuki out of whiskey, so you gotta get some soon. Since we last spoken, you started a Gene Stealer cult army going down the World War II American theme using aberrants like a failed super soldier experiment. Wow, that sounds really cool, man. That sounds really interesting. That sounds cool. Failed super soldier experiment. So I think we gotta let this paint dry a bit, or rather the ink dry, because I'm seeing some smudging. Not super great. But we'll try and fix this to make them look a little more uniform, and then we'll cut them out. That's the plan so far. Talladega Nights, yeah, that's a good movie. That whole era of like John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell, where they did like a couple movies together and they were really funny. That was cool, but they don't really make movies together anymore, it seems like. Let's see, is that dry yet? I need to do some corrections. Step Brothers. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't seen all of Step Brothers. Do you like Mary Trunks? Do you like Wes Anderson movies? Have you seen Royal Tenenbaums or The Life Aquatic or anything like that? Directed by Wes Anderson. That guy's like one of my favorite directors. I wouldn't say that his movies are like any of the ones that we talked about thus far, but they kind of have this feeling of like they're kind of funny, but also like just a little bit of drama, a little bit of realistic interpersonal drama, but funny and a little quirky. Step Brothers was so good. It's always on Comedy Central during weekends. And your wife is like, oh no, not this again. Is that the movie where like, man, what's the movie where Will Ferrell punches a baby? Is that the one? Because I saw that scene and I was howling. I mean, maybe you won't find it too funny these days, Mary Trunks. I thought that was hilarious. Let's change the tunage. I think we're cycling around. Well, these don't have to look perfect. If they look a little shitty, I can redo them. So let me change the music. Mikazuki, thoughts on the new knights? Yeah, the Chaos Knights, right? They look cool. I feel like in this day and age of digital models, my feeling is that we're seeing a lot of repetition in assets. And so whenever I guess this applies to all models, even back then. But it's like, yep, there's that skull again. There's those chains. There's that crow. Like, there's a crow on one of the knights, and it's like, yeah, I've seen that one. It's like, this is the thing about chaos models, is that they just look like the normal base, you know, Imperial vanilla version. But then they add a bunch of spikes to it, right? And then it's like, yep, that's chaos now. And that's what it looks like with those new knights. And I mean, that's sort of the look for chaos. That's how it's been for a very long time. But I'll say that it seems to me that whenever people really take the models into their own hands and start modeling them and doing more stuff to them, such as you know, adding tentacles and doing more chaos additions to the model, that's when the models will start to really shine. But as they've shown them now, I'm kind of like, yeah, they look all right, but they don't really excite me all too much. I'll tell you what I am excited about for the from the Adepticon reveals, and for those that are in the stream right now that don't know what we're talking about. Oh, we got a bot here. Let me get rid of this bot. Hold on. Let me assassinate this bot. Best followers, primes, and visit, blah, blah, blah. How do we do this? Block. Wait, no, we should ban, right? Ah, shit. There you go. Mikazuki, I don't like them. Straight up don't like them. The new Nighthaunt model looks great. I'm gonna need at least two of them. Are you gonna convert it for something else, or are you collecting a Nighthaunt army? I didn't know that. I thought you were I knew that you were working on 40k stuff, but I didn't know you had some Age of Sigmar projects on the go as well. But yeah, as I was saying, for those that don't know, because I have a lot of people in my stream, not a lot, but I have people in my stream that don't really follow the hobby. Adepticon, which is analogous to something like it's sort of like E3 mixed with Evo at the same time. It's like a big event for the tabletop hobby, and it's more than just Games Workshop. They'd have tournaments and reveals for other game systems from other companies as well, but Games Workshop typically have a fairly big presence at Adepticon, and they revealed some new models and stuff, kind of like an E3 thing or like a Nintendo Direct, I guess, for the tabletop hobby. So they revealed some new stuff, including as we talked about, the knights. And if you don't know what knights are, those are like the giant mechs, right? Like they're these giant, they're like titans, right? That they have in 40k. And they also announced a bunch of other stuff. We can kind of go over some of the stuff that they revealed. I know if Mikazuki can remember some of that stuff too, we can kind of go over them. Mikazuki, I have the Dreadblade Harrows, and that's it. Okay. I only got them because I wanted them for a while, and my love for them hasn't gone. The new model is pretty cool. It's like a boat, right? He's kind of like a ferryman, like the archetype of the guy that will row you the dead bodies and row you across. Yeah, very neat, very neat. So you can have two of them? I thought it was like a unique character, and so that you could have only one. I'm not really sure. I didn't read the particulars of it, but that was pretty cool. There was also a reveal for like a new sort of expansion set that would include some new rules for Age of Sigmar, and then they had some new terrain that was supposed to take place. The terrain was for Gur, the realm of beasts. So we've done a fairly decent job of painting these things. So let's cut them out now. Starting a dark mech project. What's a dark mech? I have no idea what a dark mech is. Okay, so now we'll cut these things out. Oh, I realized that I need my small ruler, so give me a moment, guys. Actually, how about we take a quick little break? So just give me like 5 minutes or so. All right, thanks for the ban there, Night Trap. I I think I blocked it, but I didn't ban it because I was like, huh? Alright. So yeah, about Adepticon, there was a number of reveals. Not too many. I think that what, in your opinion, Mikazuki, if you're still around, what was Dark Adeptus Mechanicus? Okay. Oh, that sounds actually pretty cool. Has anyone ever done that before? That sounds really interesting. So, like, would they be chaos? Would they have, like, tentacles and stuff? Plus mechanical stuff? Alright. Yeah, to me, at Adepticon, the biggest reveal, in my opinion, was Warhammer Horus Heresy. Now, Horus Heresy, they do have a game. Like, in other words, you could call it like 30k, Warhammer 30k, and there is a rule set already for that game. It's mostly a Forge World game, if I'm not mistaken. Primarily most of the models and stuff come from Forge World, and so they're far less accessible in some regards compared to game models that you can get normally just straight up from Games Workshop, whether it be at Games Workshop's stores or various online outlets. Forge World in general is just, in my I've never bought any Forge World models, but it just seems like it's a little harder to get models from that range. Hold on, just try and measure this out. I'm cutting this stuff out, so I gotta be careful. Let's go with that. So it seems to me that maybe this new edition of Horus Heresy will be handled by Games Workshop directly, and so the models will be Citadel miniatures rather than Forge World resin stuff. That's my guess. I don't think that we have any concrete evidence to support that at this moment, or maybe we do. I'm not really sure. That's just my guess. But I feel like Horus Heresy and 30k is more in line with the aesthetics of 40k, although it's not strictly 40k, that I've always enjoyed, which is to say this kind of like junky, messy, kind of like a metal album cover aesthetic. And it was futuristic, but a very messy and grim future that had technology, but the technology wasn't extravagant, it wasn't very slick, it wasn't very impressive. And that fit in with the lore, because in the lore, like, so many factions, they're sort of like dying, and they're not really making new technology, and in some cases they don't even know how their current technology even works. I like that idea. But in 40k, we've kind of gotten away from that over the years. And so 30k is a little more in line with like what I kind of liked about 40k from the beginning. Oh shit, thanks for letting me know, man. Sorry. Stream with camera. Thanks. I tend to do that sometimes. Thanks, guys. I know you've been messaging me for a while, but I didn't see it. The new Necromunda bugs could be converted to some Nurgle demons. Yeah, the new bugs look really good, and yeah. So to finish my thoughts about Horus Heresy, I'm looking forward to seeing what they got going for that. The rule set for 30k or Horus Heresy is based off of 7th edition, if I'm not mistaken, and we are presently in what edition? In 40k now. Is it 8th or 9th? We're currently in beyond 7, and yeah, I wonder if people like the rules set in 7th. I have no idea. Thanks again for reminding me about that, guys. We're currently in 9th. Okay, wow. Yeah, how did people feel about 7th edition, if you recall? Not really sure if you played much at the time. I'm trying to measure this up. Oh yeah, I said I was going to change the music, guys. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, the music. Hold on. What do we got? What do we got? Street Fighter 4 music. Yeah, I had that up. I'm going to change it real quick to something else for a bit, because I know I did play Street Fighter music previously. I don't mind the Street Fighter 4 music, but we'll mix things up a little bit, and then we'll get back to some Street Fighter later. Okay. Just cutting out these banners now. So yeah, the new Necromunda Ash Wastes, I'm pretty excited about. There was this old game from Games Workshop called Gorka Morka, which was kind of like orcs in the world of Mad Max, right? So you had orcs running around in vehicles and shooting each other up, and that was actually really fun. And that rule set was still based around Necromunda. So it seems like Ash Wastes is going to kind of bring some of that back. And I do know that Ash Wastes, that was a rule set. That was a rule set that was made like an expansion in 40k. Sorry, in Necromunda, back when the first edition of Necromunda was out. Not the first edition, but you know, like in the 2000s when they brought back Necromunda. And now they're bringing it back again. And the models look pretty cool. Vehicles, I'm wondering if, I'm guessing every faction will get unique vehicles, and that'll be cool, because, like, you know, what are the Escher vehicles are going to look like? You know, stuff like that. I'm pretty curious about that. So basically between the announcement of Horus Heresy and the new edition of Necromunda for Ash Wastes, those were the two big announcements for me that excited me the most. I don't know if anything else caught your eye there, Mikazuki. Let's see. Yeah, not too much Age of Sigmar stuff. At least nothing that really caught my attention. And what else? Unfortunately, we didn't get any more stuff about the old world. That's the other thing I'm kind of looking forward to hearing more about. That's Warhammer: The Old World, the return of the original setting of Warhammer Fantasy. And for anyone that's familiar with the games, the PC games, that would be like the Warhammer Total War games. That's where they're set, in the setting called the Old World. The new setting for Warhammer Age of Sigmar is different, to say the least, without getting into a big long spiel about that. And not that I even mind the new setting, but I really do enjoy the original Old World setting, so I'm happy that it's coming back as a tabletop game. And I really would like to learn more about it. They announced it, I don't know, like a year ago? 2 years ago? And we've been getting bits and pieces of new information about it, but not like a full-on reveal, we're not seeing any miniatures or anything like that, which sucks. I'm kind of half expecting that when we do see it, the box set is going to come with Kislev. I think we might see Kislev, which is kind of like the Warhammer Russians, and possibly Cathay, which is like Warhammer China. I'm kind of expecting that. Oh, you said before that Mika's fine for your name. All right. Yeah. I don't know. It's just a bad habit of mine, I guess. But I'll keep that in mind, Mika. For a split second, I was like, "Oh, you're talking about Street Fighter." There's a Street Fighter character called Mika. So let's see how this looks. We'll cut it out, and I'll glue this onto one banner. We'll see how it looks. I'm thinking it's gonna look okay, but not super great. And then we will move on to some other stuff today. Some other non-Warhammer-y stuff. But yeah, there's really nothing else too big at the Adepticon thing, in my opinion. The actual tournament is going on right now, though. You can actually watch the tournament on Twitch, and there's like the official Warhammer channel as well as other streamers that are broadcasting games. And it's kind of interesting, although I have to say that watching people play Warhammer it's just not super exciting at the moment. Like it's something I think about from time to time is how are they going to make this interesting? How are they going to make it exciting? Mary Trunks, alright, gotta go. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Alright, thanks for dropping by, Mary Trunks. Catch you later. Yeah, so, and I know I've kind of discussed this a little bit before about broadcasting games of Warhammer, how to make it interesting. Maybe they could look at what people do for Magic the Gathering as a bit of an example of how to do it right. But it's kind of like it's kind of also an issue with personality. Like, part of the reason why people like to watch fighting game streams also is to kind of see their favorite personalities talk about games. Okay, so I folded it over, so it's gonna look like that, and then we'll just kind of wrap this around. We'll just wrap this around sort of like this, and that'll be it. Mika, gotta go. Thanks for the stream. No problem, Mika. Thanks for stopping by. No, it's been a while since I've seen you around, but that's, yeah, I'm glad that you dropped by. Catch you another time. So let's see. I think that this is gonna look a little kind of lame. Let's see. How's this gonna look? It's kind of delicate work here. Should I get my tweezers out? This looks like a job for Tweezer-chan. Do you know that there's a mascot for like those God Hand clippers? I think it's for God Hand. They have like their own mascot, and Kotobukiya made a girl plum model of her. I don't know if her name is like, it's like Clipper-chan or something like that. But I need Tweezer-chan. I think I might have to get Tweezer-chan. What the hell? This isn't necessarily going as I planned with the way that I had it in mind to loop around. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, so there definitely is a like a Clipper mascot. If you can't find it, I'll try and look for it myself. But she actually looks pretty cool because they gave her haircut kind of like she kind of has like blue long twin tails, kind of like Miku, but in the shape of like the handles of a clipper. Where's the clippers? Nipako, yeah, that's her name. Yeah, there's a model. There might even be some other merch for her. But yeah, so yeah, you've seen it already, but this is kind of like, imagine that's her hair, and then this part here would be like like a bonnet on her head or something. It's pretty cool. That's funny. So yeah, it's gonna look something like that. I can't quite get the part that wraps around the pole exactly how I want it right now, but that's generally the look. I can get some glue and hopefully that'll help out. Get it into position. I can kind of fold it. I'll pre-fold it now so it'll kind of stay in position. Something like that. Okay. Yes, that is generally how I want it. And now we can kind of glue it temporarily. Let's see, hopefully this will work. Japan will make a cute girl out of anything. Like I shouldn't even be surprised that Nippako that she exists when there's like battleships, horses, what else? When they've got so many other kinds of girls out there. Let's get this out. Okay. Guns? Have they? Oh. I guess they have made guns, but they're kind of like silly looking guns, right? Like, unless I'm missing out. Oh, well they have those what are they called? Like the models that we saw. The schoolgirls and guns, yeah. But no cars yet, Bacon. Bacon's waiting for the cars. The second that they have the cars, it's all over for him. He'll be lost. Oh, that there's an anime with the girls with guns. Yeah, and then they made the model kits of them too. That's the one where they look kind of like... They look like silly toy guns though, right? Pretty sure there's gotta be one with like historical figures, right? Like they turned historical figures into cute anime girls. I feel like that's a thing. Unless I'm just imagining things. Like, there's like Abraham Lincoln-chan. Am I making that up? I could be making that up. It sounds plausible though. As implausible as that sounds completely within the realm of possibility for Japan to create something like that. Okay, hopefully this works and I'm not just making a huge mess. Let's put this here. Okay, how's this gonna go? Okay, let's get... Okay. I have my tweezers here, but they're not like super close by, and I'm being lazy. Okay, the way I've done this is just... I could have designed this a little better. I will be the first to admit. And because it's so small too, it's kind of like hard to manipulate. Okay. Fate kind of already does that. Oh, you're right. Yeah. I guess so. Man, I've tried to get into Fate, but But yeah, it's a little daunting for me. I didn't start from the beginning. That would kind of explain partially why it was hard for me to get into. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's so popular, and yet I haven't been fully able to understand the popularity, so to speak. And I haven't been fully able to get into it. It's kind of like one of those things where it's just a write-off for me at this point. I gotta tuck this little part in. I did it this way to kind of disguise the looping part so that it wouldn't be exposed, that it would be tucked inside of the folded banner, but now I'm having difficulty. Get in there. Holy crap. And this paper is kind of has a bit of thickness, so it's actually, I thought that would make it easier to work with, but actually it's making it a little harder. And this music. Okay. Okay. Yes? Maybe? Okay. Let me just take a break. I'm close. Bacon, have I seen Fate Zero? Yeah, that's the one I saw first, I think. That's the... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that. And it's like really dark, right? Like it's kind of dark and depressing, I think. I think that's the one I saw. Such a hugely successful franchise, and if I'm not mistaken, like Sony owned that franchise? Am I correct in saying that? Or as far as just the games go for it? Okay. Okay, there we go. One down. It's look at, so the moon here is kind of up high, and then it's a bit lower on this side. Oh well, that's okay. That actually looks pretty good though. I'm kind of happy with how that looks. I think what I'll do is try and bend it a bit to kind of make it a little wavy and flowing, and maybe I can add some weathering or something, but that is generally the idea I was going for. Hopefully I can do a better job on the other ones. I should have made the tab a little longer or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's the general idea for these guys. So I'm gonna do that 2 more times and think about maybe some weathering or something, but that's the general idea. Maybe some more designs on it, but I don't want to overdo it. Bacon, I think all you really need to watch is that and Fate Unlimited Blade Works. Pretty sure Fate is still owned by Type Moon, which I might be wrong now, though. Oh yeah, so maybe it's like the games though, like the mobile game or something is like produced by some part of Sony, and they're like raking in the dough for that. Well, at the time, I don't know now, like, you know, these Mobage games kind of come and go, right? Alright, so that's the general idea. Like I said, I got to do this 2 more times, but this was actually really fiddly to do, and I don't think I want to do that right now. So we'll do that off stream. But yeah, that's it for now. And what I'll do is I'll take a picture of these guys when they're all done, and these guys will be finally for realsies done, and I'll be very happy. And then after that, as far as Eldar go, well, the next thing is the Jetbike. Sorry, the Viper Jetbike. That's the next thing, and I've already did a bit of it, as you can see. Did some base coating on that, and that'll be the next thing. So yeah, that's that.